See, we get to see it again. So sorry.
I have saved my kingdom. We will live to fight another day. Next year, this will be mine.
I posted right when we were all watching the episode together. I posted right on AJ's his Facebook. I was like, oh man, that was so awesome, your run. It was fun times, man. It was such a great time down in Miami.
Yeah, the beauty of American Ninja Warrior is that it's become so large. I mean, it's obviously a blessing and a curse, but the blessing is that it's so much more accessible now. Everybody has always had a shot to get on, but there were only so many spaces, and now that that has sex coupled, it's definitely better for a lot of people. So I'm sure a lot of you are interested in getting on the show. How many of you would actually love to compete?
Sweet.
Awesome. How many of you think you could, but you don't know if you want to? All right. Well, let me tell you, you can. And those of you that didn't raise your hands because you're too shy, you can. I promise you. There are... What was the oldest competitor this year?
We had a Grandpa Ninja, about 63 years old.
Yeah?
That Tobago guy, yeah, did really good.
So even age is not a factor? You definitely can compete in this thing. So you want to know how to get on the show. Have any of you actually attempted to be on the show before and didn't get on? Would you have one? All right.
What season? This current one?
Yeah, it's gotten a lot more challenging just because it's blown up so much over the last few years. So casting is really, really strict. It's turned into more of a casting thing as far as like having a good background, as far as your background story. So it's not so much about you and your physical abilities, but you have an interesting story to tell.
Yeah. You got to remember, it is TV.
Exactly.
So they're looking, obviously, that you can compete to some extent. They don't want you to kind of walk out there and fall in the water, because that's too short. But they do want you to have a compelling story or something fun that obviously the audiences are going to want to see on TV.
You guys got to realize that this is NBC, okay? This is NBC and G4. It's a TV show first before it being a competition. So
very much so, and we can show you kind of what goes into a American Ninja Warrior intro video or submission video, if you would call it. I'm going to show you somebody that actually didn't make it on the show. Well, I should say he was there, but they didn't show him on TV. But he's a character you all will find quite interesting.
I am Chairman Platinum. I represent corporate America, the 1%. Occupy this. My physical abilities come from carrying large sums of money to the bank. You know how heavy one of these is? I do it all day long. I've seen the YouTube videos. My physical abilities are way beyond the trash that you have on there. So my competition can climb walls. Have you ever tried climbing Wall Street? You can get pushed around a little bit too long by the 99% wimps. It's about time I show them who the real boss is. I've been preparing for this challenge for the last 5 minutes. That think you're good. Now you're going to get a taste of some evil. You try and follow me, you're going to end up taking a helicopter ride, airlift.
So again, as you can see, you need a little bit of character, for sure. And this gentleman was accepted onto American Ninja Warrior. He was there, he did compete. Now, unfortunately, he did not get far enough for them to really think that he was interesting enough to put on TV. So you didn't see him on TV. And that does happen. Adrian here was one of them, unfortunately. You know, we were there, how many people did we have? 137?
Each region?
Our region, I think it was 137.
137.
So we had 137 people there. They showed probably 65, 70 on TV.
Yeah.
That's the reality of television. We need the people that are going to get ratings. But never feel discouraged to be on it because we're all here. Adrian, like I said, didn't make it last year, but are you going next year?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I've definitely been training a lot. You know, we actually, the three of us just got back from Pro Ninja Warrior Camp up in New Jersey with a bunch of the other guys, including David Campbell and Louis Mosso, a lot of the guys that competed this year and the past years and everything like that. So, James McGrath, Mr. Yeah. He actually, when we were up there last week, he hurt his ankle while doing the mock competition that they were holding, and so hopefully he's healing up and doing better and everything like that. So, I don't know. I texted him, but he hasn't messaged us back yet, so hopefully he's going to do it though.
All right, so what it takes to compete in American Ninja Warrior is a question that I've gotten a lot. So we'll go down the panel. You're going to hear different responses from some of us, some things similar. I can tell you, to actually compete in the course, it takes obviously some physical ability. You need some grip strength, upper body strength. You need a lot of dexterity, really body awareness. You need to know where you are at all times and what's around you, because that changes all the time, and every obstacle feels totally different. So you're doing something totally different with your body every single time. So it's just confusing. You need to kind of reset, like Drew said earlier. And that's really it. Training can come from anywhere. It can come from parkour that you hear all the time. It can come from rock climbing. It can come from going to the gym and messing around in there. It can come from anything you want to do, as long as you dedicate yourself to it and you try to vary it. What about you, Adrian?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. People, like everyone, you know, comes up to me and asks me, oh, you know, like, how did you get on the show? Like, what do you need to do and everything like that? Like, I always tell everyone, and we told a lot of people this a couple weeks ago when we were at AFO, that, you know, it doesn't matter what profession you're in or, you know, how good of shape you are. If you have a drive and you have a will, you can compete on this competition. Also, you know, it helps to have a shirtless Drew Drechsel doing stuff on your intro video or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, like I said, I mean, they had a sumo wrestler this year. I mean, you know, like I said, if you have a little bit of an interesting story and you can show you have a little bit of physical ability, you have a drive, you have will, you know, you guys can do it. I mean, it doesn't matter. The three champions that ever completed the whole course, I mean, two of them were crab boat fishermen, and the last guy is a shoe salesman. He did it twice. Yep. You know, I'll let James explain one of the favorite professions on of American James's profession. You said it was James. No, explain about James.
Oh, James McGrath. I didn't call him James. No. So James McGrath, last year, he slept in his aunt's van. He was a walk-on, made it to Japan. But the kicker is, he scoops ice cream for a living. Like, it's like, so what do with all these rock climbers and professional freerunners? Like, oh, I work at an ice cream place. Like, really? So does that grip strength really help you out? Like, scooping ice cream helps with your grip strength, right? Makes you perfectly prepared for the cliffhangers. Yeah, so it totally does. So he's by far like my favorite when it comes to like what you do to prepare for this. Like, I'm an ice cream scooper. That's what I do.
What do you think, Ryan?
To really compete on the show, sure, we've touched upon all the physical side of things, but I always tell people the mental aspect is something you really need to focus on. Just because you're out there and you think you're in tip-top shape, as soon as that buzzer goes off and you got to step off the starting line, you just might, you know, blank out completely and have tunnel vision and just completely forget what you're going to do and get tripped up on something really simple. So having that mindset to be able to run through the course with a clear head is vital. Also, perseverance. It took me 4 years before I finally made it to Japan. Each year, I got a little closer and closer, and I've always had people like laugh at me and say, "Oh, you're just wasting your time with that." You know, don't